They did after a 9-12 record in less than 2 years.
How about them apples, huh?
He's owed $15 million.
Is that
buyout.
so?
Yeah.
So I'm already seeing on Twitter right now after
what's that like?
Brian Harsin just got fired. I'm already hearing Deion's name mentioned. Did you see game day went to Jackson State?
It was awesome.
And saw Stephen A. went in as the guest picker.
Very cool.
And Stephen A. and Deion shared a moment in the green room trailer, RV that they had. And all I could think to myself was, and Deion put out a photograph of him in the tunnel, seeing everything in front of him. Said, "Caption this without curse words," he said. And because Deion does not curse anymore. I don't know if he did back in the day, but at any rate, I learned the word "dern" from him.
Dern,
yes,
yeah, that's his thing.
So
Stern thing.
That's his Dern way of talking. All I thought to myself was, what he has built. It's unbelievable, but not surprising.
No,
not surprising. And I don't know. Would it surprise me if he took a job elsewhere right now? Maybe. I think he wants to see what he's doing through.
Well, remember when he was with us not that long ago, he said if he did take a big job like that, QB's coming with him.
But also, he also pointed out, why is it fine for my name to get mentioned in so-called bigger schools and bigger programs, but it's not fine for my kids to be mentioned in bigger awards? Right now. Yeah. Why is that? Oh, I'm fine to so-called step up, but my kids aren't allowed to step up to be thrown into the Heisman conversation, even though Shador, his actual kid, is putting up Heisman-like numbers. I just saw that this weekend. I'm like, you go, Prime.
And to work in the community in a season like no other. And we're pleased to be joined by the great Deion Sanders.
Is this crazy or what?
What is this? What does all this mean to
Southern,
you?
yeah! We got this stuff. I loved it. This is unbelievable.
A lot of signs.
This is what we dreamt of. This is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I love the equality. We got Southern. We got JSU. Yeah, we got the Southern fans. We got JSU. I love it. This is a big day. Thank you all.
Yeah, man.
Thank you all for bringing it here, man. This is all right.
Yeah.
How would you put in perspective what you faced when you came here to get this program to this point, the vision that it took when you first initially got here?
Well, it's no way to get to the top without facing adversity. It's some tremendous adversity. Oftentimes, adversity is inside the house as well as outside the house. But it just takes a body of people who believe. And we believe. Everybody out here believes. The HBCU community believes. The city of Jackson believes. And we're thankful for this opportunity.
I'm glad you mentioned that believe, because I spent time with you earlier this week, and all around the facility on the buses, you see, I believe. What does that moniker mean to you and your team?
Desmond, I had a mother who worked her butt off so ends would meet, and I was only embarrassed at her once in my life. I lied and told some of my homies that I played with that she was a nurse, and they caught her cleaning the hospital as a custodian. I made up my mind from then on that I would never lie, especially about my mother, but I had to believe.
Right.
The reason I lied because there was a lack of belief in me that I could rescue her one day when she would never have to work another day of her life.
Gotcha.
So when I say I believe, it's not just about football. It's about the single mothers out there. When I say I believe, it's not just about the single mothers. It's the father that's in the hospital on dialysis. When I say I believe, I'm talking about everybody who has the audacity to believe when they're facing adversity.
Hell yeah. Coach, this is my first time getting to meet you, and I've been a fan for a long time. Ever since you dropped the world with look good, feel good. Play good, play good.
Yeah.
Play good, pay good, live good, die good. Yeah. Everything you do, you're good at. Okay? You're better than my friend who is the best at football. You're better than my friend who is the best at baseball. You make music that is absolute bangers. I wake up motivated. Okay? You could be the top one preacher in the world if you wanted to be.
Thank you, sir.
On television, you're amazing. You're a content creator for Barstool. You literally could do anything in the world and be great at it, I believe, just from watching from afar, because I believe that you could do anything, and you should, because you're a damn legend. With that being said, why college football? You know, I was watching you kind of come out. TV, you were taking over. Content, you were taking over. A lot of money in both those things. And I would assume the prime, you know, the entire allure of prime is to look into that. Then you invested yourself in college football. Yeah. You invested yourself in Jackson. Why'd you do that? And did you know that this was going to happen this quick?
First, I invested myself in the youth in Dallas, Texas, an organization called Truth. Then I invested myself in junior high, then high school, and it just kept going and going and going. I'm here for the people, man. I'm here for the shorties. I'm here for those kids that can't see their way up or see their way out. And I'm going to show them. I'm going to be their navigational system. And I love coaching. It's not one day that I don't wake up at 3:45 a.m. and say, I don't want to do it. I can't wait to get into office. I can't wait. It's not even work. I can't wait to get into play and just have a good time with these young men and women.
Let's talk a little bit about this game. You got Southern coming in here this afternoon.
They're
Game
good.
day is here.
Yeah.
Make sure this isn't a distraction. What's going to be your message to your team before they take the field today against Southern?
We got to focus. We got to focus. We just cannot allow antagonists to interfere because we know who we are. We can't allow them to get us off course.
Yep.
And we got to be concise on what we do. If we do what we do, ain't nobody could beat us doing what we do. We just got to continue to do what we do.
100%.
I had one other big picture question for you because I've watched you coach. You know, obviously we all watched you play. You started with Bobby Bowden, before that high school coaches. Who influenced you to the point where when you're out here coaching?
Everybody.
I'm just curious, like what names?
Coach Dave Capel from the Fort Myers Rebels that has passed away. Coach Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
Mickey Andrews is me.
Yeah.
God, Mike Zimmer. It's a collection of Ray Rose. It's a collection of coaches that I set up under, that I engulfed in myself, and I see little bits and pieces of me. But still, I got to give them that prime too.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to give them Coach Prime. That's the only reason I went Drew. They didn't come to see Deion. They came to see Coach Prime. I got to give them that as well.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I do what I love, and I love what I do. This is a moment, man. This is a darn moment.
and because of these moments like this, you know, I always say, if someone else doesn't want your coach, sooner or later you're not going to want him either. But there are plenty of people that want you. How will you handle any inquiries, any people from other schools coming in and saying, we want you to come? And how will you handle that, given what you've built here?
First, I got to stay focused. And I got to maximize these moments and continue to dominate our moments. And when we cross that hurdle, we're going to cross that hurdle. I'd be a fool and a liar to tell you that I'm not going to entertain those things, because I am. But I have made no plans to move. I have made no plans to go anywhere. I have made plans to dominate today. So I have made plans on that.
You know, we really wish that Lee Corso were here. We probably know he's dealing with some health issues. You know who you're tied with on the all-time interception list.
Tallahassee.
In Tallahassee?
You're joking.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I didn't know they threw the 4
You in the Sunshine Scooter.
Are you
in the
kidding me?
Sunshine Scooter. How about
Look
that?
at that.
Oh, my God.
$2 is up there at the top, and look at that.
But you know what? That means they, you know.
Exactly.
They didn't throw at me like that.
Let's just get that straight.
I knew that. Let's get that straight. Let's get that straight. They didn't trot me.
I knew that was coming.
Hey, thank you so much, Fats.
Hey, can I end with this? Can I end with this?
Yes, you can.
Who is swag, baby? Who is swag, baby?
The most impressive team I've seen is Tennessee. They have the highest quality win I've seen. We've seen them twice. We've been in Knoxville 2 times. You about to go for a third. You may get you a condo. Yeah. But we watched them play Florida, and we watched them go toe-to-toe with the king of the hill, Alabama, and it was the highest quality win. So to me, it's a no-brainer. Tennessee's the #1 team in the country.
I understand why you would say that, and offensively, I think they're the most them and Ohio State together are pretty ridiculous. But if we're doing complete team, they also still give up a bunch of
I just
points.
need you to win the game. You don't have to have a complete team. I need you to get the W at the end of the day.
In order to be the best team and to win it all in the end, I think it requires both sides of the football and be complete. So that's
who's #1 for you?
That's
number one?
I'd give it to Georgia.
Okay.
I think Georgia's the most
Georgia.
complete.
Okay, that's a good call.
Okay. But again,
but
I'm
not Ohio
arguing,
State.
But I'm not. I think Ohio State could be one. I think Georgia could be one.
No, but who do you say is #1?
I said Georgia.
There we go.
Okay, the thing about that Georgia-Tennessee debate is next week.
We're going to find out.
13.5-point spread, I believe. Wow. So I think Georgia's favored by 13.5 against the Tennessee team, and I think it's because of the defense and because of what Will Levis could potentially do today. For me, the Ohio State team is just, they bring over Jim Knowles from Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's defense has kind of gone into the Cooper. I don't want to say it too low. And Ohio State's defense has gone from like 38th to 5th overall. Yeah. For me right now, this far into the season, Ohio State is the most complete team. But all hell can break loose 1 week from now, Reese.
Yeah.
And
Usually does.
I feel like that's what the college football playoff is all about if we're going to have a discussion.
Yeah, I have Ohio State, number one, because I think they would beat Tennessee. That's a subjective judgment. Tennessee clearly has the best resume. That's a component of it.
If you get to December 3rd and they're 4 and 5.
Yeah, if they're comparable teams, there's the subjective quality. That's why we have a committee.
You're going to enjoy that.
I'm
going to hate it. I watched it.
Dad loves it. This is why I'm not on that show on Wednesday night.
Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Tuesday night. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that everybody's worried to death about, unless you're an SEC fan. The possibility